Hi, this is Amanda from Berroco, and I'll be demonstrating how to work the Francis scarf using Berroco Lacey. For this demonstration, I'll be using a pair of knitting needles. The thing about this scarf is that you're not actually going to be knitting in the traditional way. You're actually just using the needles as tools to help you make ruffles using this ribbon yarn. Before we get started with the actual scarf, I wanted to talk a little bit about where you want to stick your needles into the ribbon while you're working it. If you take a look at the ribbon, you can see there are dense areas and then more wide open areas alternating throughout the ribbon. And for the body of the scarf, we're just going to be working in the wide open areas. If you take a look at the top edge of these areas, you can see that there are two big loops. There's one here, which we're going to call loop A, and then there's one here called loop B. And when you stick your needles into these loops, make sure that you stick it underneath the nylon chain that's running across the top part. So I'm going to stick it into this wide open area here. Same with loop B, you want to stick it into the wide open area under the chain. Okay, so to get started with your scarf, the first thing you need to do is kind of secure this loose edge. And what you want to do is roll your yarn up about an inch of it or so, and then stick your knitting needle into the top sections of all of these layers. Just kind of poke it through all of them. And then stick your hook through the next available big loop, under the chain, of course. So once you have all those loops on your needle, what you want to do is use your second needle to pull all of these previous loops up and over like a bind off. So you can kind of use your fingers to open up that stitch so it's easier to get your needle into it. And then pull it up and off your needle. And repeat the process with these other loops I have until I'm down to just one loop on my needle again. So that's securing the edge. And now we're going to start the gathering stitch. To do that, you want to insert your needle into the next 4 loop A's. So here's my first loop A. 1. Here's the next one. 2. Here's the third. Here's the fourth. Once I've stuck my needle through all of those, I want to do the same thing where I pass all these stitches up and off the needle over my first stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then pull this last loop up and off too. So now I'm back down to 1 stitch, and now I'm going to work a lock stitch. So instead of going to another loop A, I'm going to stick my needle into loop B right here. Stick it through and then pull this loop up and over, so I'm back down to 1 loop. So those are the steps, so you just keep repeating those 2 stitches for the body of the scarf. Okay, so once your scarf has reached the length that you want it to be, you're going to have to finish off the edge in a way similar to the roll that we did at the beginning. To work this, let's just pretend for right now that on my right hand side I have a really nice finished ruffled scarf, and that this is the last stitch from my ruffles, and I'm ready now to do my edge. So what you want to do is roll up that ribbon again like we did at the beginning, and then you want to stick your needle through the top layers of all of these layers of the roll until they're on your needle, and then use your second needle to pull the first loop up over the stitch and off your needle. Then you're left with this little bunch of end loops, and you can secure that with a piece of sewing thread and kind of loop it around a few times so that it won't run, and then you'll be finished. Thanks for watching.